Feels good, certainly, to have such a big run today. Nice big green day after a relatively more difficult week last week when there was a lot of fears around. Seemed like all of Twitter was saying the market, everyone's bleeding, all this kind of stuff. And not having that happen today is a good thing. And I did remain bullish last week. And I want to paint my picture from this point on, given the strong buying that took place today and the lack of continued panic sell. So I did remain bullish last week and decided to buy the dip while also rebalancing my portfolio. Ultimately, the important thing was I didn't sell everything. The way I see things going while remaining bullish is not necessarily the way things have gone in the past. We've been on this just straight up line from the bottom, but now it's starting, it looks like a curve, and now that curve looks like it's starting to flatten out a little bit. And I think that's a warranted decision. Let's not forget, we're at this level because we've been forecasting economic recovery, good movement in reopening, all these kinds of things. And that is currently priced into the market. We've had better than expected earnings. These things have continued to happen. And that's good. And that has maybe given us a little bit more juice in this most recent post-presidential election boom, if you want to call it that. But as I said, the curve looks like it's starting to flatten out a little bit. And I'm remaining bullish. I'm remaining invested. But maybe we're going to get a little bit more of a flat period. And we're going to have to see how people take that when they're not making a whole lot of money in the market, but they're not losing a whole lot either. And maybe they aren't sure what to do. They'll reach a point where things feel unpredictable to them. Maybe we'll break some sort of floor because the curve is flattening out and people will freak out. I don't know. What I do know is I own good stocks that are well priced. I don't own anything that's super expensive. Now, maybe that's to my detriment. Look at Zoom. I haven't wanted to touch Zoom for a very long time. Haven't wanted to touch Tesla either. But I've been doing this for several years, and I know there are people who do it way longer than me. But there are also a lot of people who do it way shorter than me or been burned and those kinds of things. I'm very happy to say I've basically never been burned. And the reason why I'm alive is because I focus on things like price and market cap. So, I know a lot of people want to say, don't focus on multiples. I heard that at some point today. But that's, what I'm focusing on. I'm also, considering future multiples. And I have some CRISPR stocks that fall into that bucket of not caring about current earnings multiples. But at the end of the day, for me, it's about price. How much am I paying for the potential or the current? And that's what I'm going to focus on. I think for you, if you focus on price, even in a flat market, maybe you will outperform. It is possible. So focus on price, keep looking at price, and play the long game because we just had a sell-off, a panic sell-off. We just had easing and confidence come back in, the calming of heads. And I think this move today, I don't want to really extrapolate this out and say this is the dynamics of the market off of this last week's move and today's response. I'm not necessarily looking at it like that. I'm looking at it from the perspective of this is what I had been thinking before the panic, and the panic happened, and this is the response to the panic, and just kind of reaffirming what I believed, which is if you focus on price, you're going to be all right. The market has deserved to continue to run, and I do think it will continue to run. But the new part, predicting the future, is that it'll run and it'll continue to go up and you won't, lose money like crazy. It's not like there's a crash coming, a stock market crash. But the angle of this curve, I think, is going to continue to flatten out because I believe, on the record, Dave Portnoy put it fantastically, that stocks always go up if you have the time. And with time, the market will go up. But we need some sort of catalyst some sort of good information, some good truth. Right now, we're expecting economic recovery, right? We need that economic recovery to come in way better than expected because we are expecting a whole lot. We're expecting a rapid decrease in the unemployment rate. And if that happens, the market will be happy, the economy will be happy, the masks will be off, and things will be good. And we'll enter the next stage of the market. If things are kind of meh, nothing super great, some beats, some less than beats, nothing special, nobody's talking about the recovery, it's not like a fantastic recovery, then expect continued flatness. That's kind of where it's going to be. It's going to be continued flat. Not down yet, because they will be continued flat with people kind of turning a blind eye, being like, well, forgiveness. I'm rich. I've got a lot of this percent of the float in the stock. I'm not going to sell. If they sell, I'll keep holding. Got easy diamond hands. Possibility number 2. Possibility number 3 is there's a lot of stuff below expectations. There's a lot of concerns. We get deflation instead of inflation. Then that will be the instance, and it's the most unlikely, I believe, of the 3 instances in which there's a sell-off. And right now we're not at that. Yes, stock prices are high. Believe me, they are high. I don't like the fact that they're high. But they're not too high. At least some of them are. Zoom, if you ask me, it's pretty high. But if you look at how important Zoom is, well, it's pretty important. So, some things have pretty big PEs, and I would stay away from the expensive stuff and look for the cheap stuff. Cheap, good stuff. Right now, like Regeneron and like Exxon Mobil. And some real estate. People are sleeping on real estate, especially today. I don't know what's good with that. My company was up 3% and closed, all real estate closed at 1%, which is below the market. So we will see what happens. And until next time, peace out.